And we're back, and the time is still ticking down. So I might be cutting the videos up differently. Like every time I do a commit, I'll stop the video probably, and then start recording again. Because last time I made a 7-hour video, I couldn't convert it. I couldn't automatically cut it using, I forget what it's called. Jump cutter, yeah. I can't use jump cutter with a long video because it uses up like 200 gigabytes or more if it's 7 hours. So I can't really do that. That's why we're just gonna cut these videos up. Maybe make them more bite-sized. Now I'm pondering whether to recreate the whole OVR player and change it into ECS. Mainly because of collisions. So it seems like I just have to change the OVR manager and camera rig and the OVR player controller. The rest is like optional. Events. I haven't used these in a while. So OVR manager has a bunch of static stuff. So it's pretty much a singleton. I'll remake this later. First, I want to mess with some physics of ECS. That seems like a huge task to remake a whole controller and manager and change it to ECS. I have to figure it out at some point. I'll probably stick this on the wrist and then that should make it, hopefully, since it's injected. Alright, so there seems to be some issues with the transform not rotating the game object. Oh, I saw something interesting. Camera to ECS. Alright, so rotations aren't done properly. Don't know why. It should be working. I put copy transform the game object and it has a rotation. Let's take a look at the entity debugger at what values the copy to transform does. If it has any data at all. My guess is just the system though. It's a system that's copying entity data to game object data. To game object transform data. Oh yeah, I should probably take this off. I'll look in the entity hybrid. There should be a system somewhere. Here it is. Rotation is value.value. Local to worlds index. So this local to world. Float 4x4. How does that turn into a quaternion? So I don't know how this rotation works. It just says value.value, which is just a float 4x4. I guess we have to look at the quaternion docs. So would that be math? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's math. Constructs a quaternion from orthonormal 4x4. I know where it is. Alright, I don't know how to fix the rotation. It gets the position, at least, but not the rotation. I guess that's fine. Well, before I move on to attaching physics to everything. Wait, what was I doing before? My memory. Oh yeah, I was trying to fix the rotations. That's what I was trying to do before. Now before I do anything else, I'm gonna take off the hand offset. No, if this equals null, oh no. This should just equal 0. So this will make it 1, this will make it 0. Well, with quaternions, I learned it always equals 1, but W will be 1 in this case. I think W means scale, scalar or something. I vaguely remember the videos, but what I did remember is all 4 values will equal 1. All 4 values of a quaternion will equal 1. So offset pos will be 0, quaternion identity, there we go. That way it won't be null, this will just be 0. Now let's test what happens if it's 0. So I'm just gonna have collisions for the sticks and have 2 collisions for the shelf. One is a normal ECS collision, not mono behavior collision collider, and the other will be a ECS physics collider. Let me just copy these values. Oops, what did I do? There. How can I put more? I guess I have to make it a mesh collider rather than a bunch of boxes. Guess before we do any stuff on the benches... Oh wait, I have to keep it on the benches also, because if I just change these, they'll just fall to the ground, because they're not compatible with each other. The monobehavior colliders and the ECS colliders. Alright, so the error was because I had the box colliders, and I was trying to convert it when it couldn't convert it. I was trying to like make it both, have a box collider and make it entity also, but I don't think I can do that. I might have to duplicate the object instead, do it a janky way. And I'm not liking all these errors, but it's running. I didn't convert it. I wonder what will happen. It probably won't work because I didn't put convert to entity. Oh, it works. Oh, nothing's happening. Don't know why there's this assertion fail again. Oh, it didn't work. I might have to make a iConvert monobehavior script. I can just move this up a bit, see if they fall down. Alright, so I'm just going to make a script to add components, I guess. What should I call this? Character, object, default object. Yeah, we're just going to call this default dynamic object. Game, entity, game object. Well, it's pretty long, but should be fine. And I don't need all these values. All I need is these ones. Then I'll drag in the default dynamic entity game object. One thing I noticed was that it didn't convert the skinned mesh renderer, which was good or bad. It means it knows it's different. I might have to move these to the geo root instead. Maybe. Still not sure about that yet. We just need to get physics working on these before I do anything different. Alright, so the colliders drop. That's good. But the mesh doesn't. So I'll probably have to move it up. We'll try it with just one for now and see if it drops down. We'll also test if the IK still works, even though it's converted to an entity. Oh yes, it works. Now let's see if the IK works. Now if this works, a lot of issues are going to be solved. Well, a lot of issues are going to be not a problem. Oh, it works. It bloody works. I can do IK. I could do IK with physics. With ECS physics. That's good. Very good. Now we'll just move the rest to the parent. Now I'm going to add some physics stuff on the sticks or swords. I don't know what I should call them. And then I'm going to see how to do collision events by looking at the Unity physics samples. That's one thing I haven't touched yet. The calling collision events. So let's test that real quickly. Oh, so is skin mesh part of the physics system? Oh, okay. I think I know why that messed up. The ground is still normal. So I'm just gonna duplicate this. Turn off the mesh renderer and make this entity physics shape. Alright, so why are these guys flying? They're just flying away. Alright, we'll leave them for now and we'll just move this forward. I can't do it like that. Alright, so it's a bit weird still. Alright, I need to name them so I know which ones are flying. So the physics is bugging out and it's making it go flying for some reason. Does the spotlight have a collider? I never checked that. It shouldn't, but it might. Alright, so it doesn't have collisions, obviously, but Want to double check that. I'm really confused on why they're flying away and why these aren't colliding properly. Oh yeah, the rotations aren't done properly, that's why. So I think the problem might be the rotations. They're not being done properly. They're not copying properly. Right, so it works when I put it there, but not behind this counter. Let's undo. Let's look at the ECS setting for physics. I don't know, let's double the solvers. That'll make it more laggier, but hopefully it stops flying. Well, it's still in preview, so can't really help that. We'll just leave it for now. Don't know why it's like that, but we're just gonna leave it for now. And I think we'll add it to MB merger, the game objects to entities, or not. Why? Oh, there's meshes from one. To the name. Just hide all these. Oh, whoops. Alright, now I'll put colliders on the sticks. Physics body shape. There's no rotation. It doesn't rotate it. Yeah, that might be an issue. Oh, I can rotate it here. That should solve it, hopefully. There we go. I'm just going to ignore this assertion fail. Although the assertion fail might be why the rotation isn't working. Alright, let's do a quick test in the editor, then export it to the Oculus Quest. Then do a git push. Git commit, actually. Always get that wrong. So it's super laggy on my computer. Hopefully none of that lag will be in the build. So I forgot to turn off gravity on the sticks. That's probably why it's all weird. 0. Just make it kinematic. Oh no, they have to be dynamic so they can get stuck on things. And just turn off gravity. I was wondering why I was just dropping to the floor. I'm like, oh yeah, gravity. Gravity is a thing that happens in real life and in games. And let's run it again. Or build and run again. Alright, so I noticed that when you hit something, the objects get offset for some reason. So it doesn't go through the object, but the tracking system goes to whack pretty much. So I need to reset it somehow. Yes, the good news is that it's not going through, as I said before. Logically, it should still be going to the right hand. I'm going to test it a bit more and see if I can try and understand why it's doing it. Don't know why it's not resetting to this position, to the hand position. It should be lerping to it, but for some reason it's not. I think it's something to do with the collider. It's not set to the entity translation. The reason why I want to do physics ECS, I might have said this before, is because it's more efficient. ECS is just more efficient. That's why if I'm able to do ECS physics, I'll be able to do more physics than other games. Right, for now I'm gonna put that to kinematic. I should also change the bar, the bench. Oh no, it's already considered static. But yeah, we'll just change it to wrist to kinematic. Maybe it needs to have like a fixed update. Let's try that. Let's see if that makes a difference. We're probably going to keep it like that because it's doing physics and we should probably use fixed delta time anyways. Alright, so it definitely is colliding weirdly. The colliders are changing. They're not rotating properly. If only I can have information on the colliders itself. So yeah, it's not rotating properly. What's a sealed class? Never seen that before. So what happens if I just do convert and destroy? Would that get rid of this? Will it just be a actual physics, pure ECS entity? So let's try that. Let's try and make this. Let's destroy it. See if that works. Because it doesn't have to convert. It doesn't have to copy the transform data to the game object. So that might fix it. But there's some limitations with that. I think the biggest issue we're having is the rotations aren't copying properly from the entity. So there's something definitely wrong with the collisions. They don't rotate properly. I might have to look at the Unity physics examples. Alright, we'll make the left stick kinematic and see how well that performs. Alright, so it performs with no issues, kinematic. Oh, let me try it with the inject instead of destroy. It shouldn't make a difference. I also should delete this Sword FX tutorial. I'm not using it. Alright, so we're gonna build this, do a commit, and stop, I guess. We'll save it for later. Tomorrow, or maybe later on tonight. But first, of course, build, test in the quest, see how it goes. And yeah, I'll do commit after we do the build to see if it works. So, added ECS physics, colliders, dynamic colliders act weirdly after collision using the attach component. Rotations aren't accurate when using copy to transform. What was it called again? Copy transform to game mode. Alright, so everything seems to be working. Well, everything that isn't broken is working. Yeah, I added physics. Now I'm gonna do a commit, and I guess I'll end it here. Next time I'll probably be doing colliders? No. Next time I will be doing collision events. Maybe that might help reset. Need to reset collider position when collided. I'll just add that there. Guess that's it for now. Until next time.